Well, hello everybody. Happy Tuesday. Here we are on For the Love of Dragons going live. And it's been 2 weeks. Missed you guys. Sorry I'm coming on a little late today. Had class this morning and trying to get the internet connection and all kinds of stuff. Here we are. It's perfect timing. So last week I was gone, and for those of you that don't know me, my name is AndaRan, also known as Tana. I am a dragon guide, and so this is interesting. I've got little glitches here with the internet connection trying to stabilize, so I apologize. It has been really up and down. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that, but it glitches out so often and every day, and you get really frustrated paying for high-speed service, right? But I know there's bigger things at play in the satellites and the universe, so I'm just going to let it be what it is. But going into the story that I want to share today, magic, absolute magic and amazing things. And why I like to tell stories like this is to inspire you, to make you know you're not crazy when things are happening. You might recognize an aha moment when I share something. You go, oh my gosh, that's what that was. So I had some magic happen in Shasta, the whole week long. It was incredible. But the beauty started driving up there. So as we left Reno, right across the highway in the sky, and I wish I'd been able to snap a photo. There were two cloud formations, and one was a perfect dragon, and the other was initially a ship. It looked like a big ship disguised in cloud, and then it morphed and became a phoenix, like almost instantaneously. I looked away and then looked back, and I thought, wait, I thought that was a ship, and now it's a phoenix showing. So there was energy of phoenix, that birthing, the masculine dragon lineage, coming up and birthing into the new, and the energy of the dragon as I drove up there. So I knew, wow, there's going to be some magic unfold. This is exciting. And then, we're camping with friends, not really paying attention to stuff. And we had a lot of smoke blow in. So most of the families that we were camping with ended up leaving early. That left us on our own, and all kinds of things started happening. So I don't remember what day it was. But if you've ever been in a sleep state or had a lucid dream that you come out of and it's so real, you start questioning, like, where's the reality? What's happening here? I had one of the, I don't want to say scariest, because it didn't end up being scary. It was amazing, but it jolted me. It really put me into what's going on. So it was just right around 4 in the morning, 4:15 in the morning. I came out of a dream state and I heard a voice as clear as day in what I thought was in the woods around me, because we're in a campsite. We're well away from most of the other circles of campsites, and so we just had woods beyond us. We had seen deer back there. I mean, it was that quiet, and I heard very clearly a young woman's voice say, "Help me." And at first it freaked me out. I literally went into a panic. I thought, oh my gosh, maybe someone's being abducted. There's someone in the woods. Someone needs my help. What do I do? Got 2 young kids in the trailer with me. You go into this whole, wow, I heard that clear as a bell. And then I sat with it and I thought, okay, where am I hearing this? What realm am I hearing this in? And I thought maybe it came out of a sleep state. Maybe it was that in-between state, because it was so... It was a dimension I was very clearly in. And I know that I am in the fifth dimension a lot, but there was definite communication happening. So I let it go. Thought, okay, show me what I need to do. Fell back asleep. Well, in the morning, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, I'm driving down after packing up camp. It must have been the last day. It was Friday. Packing, and had sent the boys down to the playground with their bikes. And there's a playground at the campground. How awesome is that? And as I'm driving down, I'm alone in the car, and it came up again. I was sitting with it, and it said, all right, my guides, I want you to show me what this is about. Why did I hear this? Help me. And I know I'm not alone in those experiences, because it was coming through. It wasn't a lucid dream state, but it also wasn't reality. It was a definite communication in some realm, and I thought maybe there's a spirit that needs me. Well, as soon as I asked that, in a very clear space, open-hearted space, first thing that popped in was one of my dragon hearts, who had been having the week before some heart issues, had recently had open heart surgery, and was going through different things in the physical body, really struggling in the physical body. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is what it's about. It was her spirit. It was her spirit on a young girl level, reaching out through the ethers. And so I called her. I called her immediately, and I said, "What's going on with you today? What was happening for you around 7 a.m. your time?" Because that's what time it happened. And so she literally said, I was in a state of real struggle internally. I was asking the universe for help. And I said, well, the universe got your message and they sent it to me. So something needs to happen today. Well, what's in the land of Shasta is the AndaRas. If you're familiar with the AndaRan Dragon pendants that I've had available, and I should have had the one that I wear all the time. I've got two on my jewelry shelf there that I wear all the time. They're very potent. And the AndaRan ones started working with me, the AndaRan Dragons, about 1.5 years ago. And I was inspired because I know there were AndaRan Dragons that wanted to work through these pendants, through these specific pieces of AndaRan that are made into dragon pendants. So knowing the magic of the AndaRans and that they come from Shasta. So what's beautiful is I learned a lot about AndaRas while I was there. Wasn't expecting to go and buy anymore. I was hoping to find some more small ones for pendants. But up there, the original stock coming from Lady Nellie's land, they're all big. They're all big chunks. And this one beautiful store called the Crystal Room has shelves and shelves, glass shelves of them in one particular room. And then a couple more in the back. And apparently there's a basement full as well. And so I had seen them just the day before. I had gone in, or no, maybe it was 3 days before, gone in with another dragon who lives in the area. We were able to meet up in person. That was really amazing to spend some time with one of my dragon family through this. We met through Facebook, through this group, had a wonderful time together and got to meet in person. It's nice to have those soul connections. But I knew I was talking with my dragon heart, knew that there was a healing that needed to happen. I was being shown images of the AndaRas shelves. And so Spirit was guiding me, and all my dragon friends were guiding me to go back into that space to find the AndaRan that was calling out to do a healing. And my body's starting to tingle now because the energy's picking up again. And to use that. And the AndaRan Dragons coming in would assist that. So I went into the shop and I looked amongst the shelves. And there was one particular one that it grabbed me. It said, "I'm the one." And I'll show it to you because I ended up needing to take it home because I'm going to be doing a lot more energetic healing work at a much higher level. So I've been doing energy healings since 2003 and adding in the dragon firepower with that. They're pretty potent, but now this AndaRan reached out. And if you can see this thing is so beautiful. This being is an amazing, and it's not a dragon in this one, which I find interesting. I've been working with her all week. This is the one that said, "I'm the one that needs to do this healing for her." So I pulled this off and I held it in my hands and I said, okay, what's next? And I knew there was a giant AndaRan, a root beer colored AndaRan in the back room that is 134 pounds. I don't know how they got it in there and on this big shelf, but it's root beer colored. It's deep. And I knew it was an amplifier, and I was shown to go back to that room to hold this one in my left hand against my heart and have my right hand on the big one. And it was going to transmit everything that was coming through from this healing stone in a potent way to her. And she felt it. And I connected real time with her, sent a text. I said, "We're beginning, sit down and receive." And then the transmission would come through for several hours. It was one of the most powerful healing sessions that I never expected to come through. And it was so beautiful because I had the space to myself. And the shopkeeper knew. She has cameras in all the rooms, and we discussed it later. And she was very glad. She said that AndaRan, the big one, was very happy to be used and be in service in that way. And I'm getting actually emotional and teary right now, feeling the power of that connection and feeling. I can actually feel that root beer AndaRan telling me right now. So this is the power of stones you get. This is the power of the beings that are using these. Pay attention to the AndaRas. Connecting and saying, now that I've connected hands onto him, he can amplify that again through this transmission using this one as well, which is why I had to bring this one home. Unexpected, very pricey. It wasn't planned in the budget. But, when Spirit calls, you have to do it. You have to listen and trust and know that it will come. And so now this energy, this is what happens every time the energy in the room is starting flowing, so that I get full body goosies. and I can feel that expanding. My King Arthur cat comes in, he's my dragon, and wants to be around it and lick my hands. He's always very funny, so hopefully that's an engaging piece for you and not a distraction to have the cat in the screen. But this Andara facilitated a healing and then came on with me and has been working with me all week. There's a beautiful female being within it that is communicating with me. And the other pieces that I found out by looking up after the fact, this particular color of Andara, this particular tone, is actually for heart and solar plexus and lungs. That synchronicity was amazing. Hello from France. Hello to you. Yes, hello Tanya. So the fact that this one, without knowing, of all the ones there, and many of them were this green, these are the ones left in, which means a lot of people need that heart healing and they've been avoiding it. If they've bought all the other colors, and it's finally down to the lungs, the lungs hold our grief, the heart chakra, and the solar plexus, that this is the final piece for humanity, that this is what needs to happen. And so that was exactly the region we're working on. Open heart surgery, heart issues going back to her state as a young woman, calling out. And the beauty as well is that learning that these AndaRas now are starting to come out all over the world. That there's certain places, and my belief is, this was what came in intuitively for me in feeling this, because I had been feeling like, I feel like they're found somewhere else, in Siberia. Come to find out they're surfacing in South Africa, and they are associated with, and this isn't in any writings that I've seen, this is my own intuitive hit about it, that they're going to start surfacing in correlation to where the underground or the Middle Earth and Deep Earth cities like Telos and Shambhala, and they're all over the planet, right? That where those key, you might call them big city centers, is where the technology is now raising, the light vibration is now raising, because we're connected to Middle Earth and now down to Deep Earth. There goes my body tingles again. Those dragons are now working with us, which is why I pulled Peridot and the Rainbow Dragon, which works through the fourth dimensional bridge today, to bring those up, that we're ready. Earth is ready. Humanity is ready for this technology. For the healing technology, for the communication technology, for the education technology, that these cities have what we need. And there goes, boom, 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 my body's going crazy. Bringing that up to the surface so that as we start connecting with them, that can come through. It can come through healers and psychics like myself, but it can also start coming through you in your personal journey and awakening you to that peace in your higher consciousness level, moving you into that fifth dimensional element where you're connected with yourself, that your passion unlocks, that you are able to really get connected with who you be, what your energy framework is, what you need to be focused on and sharing in the world at whatever level. You might be a lawyer, you might be an accountant, you might be a healer like this, you might be a massage therapist, you might be an artist. There is a medium or a connection point for you through your community that is, it's time to reconnect to it. That's what I do with the dragons. The dragons are connected. Interesting that this one isn't a particular dragon, because the others that I've been working with do have that dragon energy, and the AndaRan Dragons have been coming through and communicating with me in the last year and a half. So these guys, allowing them to come and surface, allowing them to come into your field, connect with them, and just use your heart to open. Say, let me open to what this communication is. I struggle with my my clairvoyance, or I struggle with getting messages or communicating with my guides. The dragons and these AndaRas stones are literally surfacing in the last bit of time to show you. And I know that the AndaRas from Shasta have been around for some time. I believe it was 1997. Fascinating to learn the story. I'm going to share it with you because I never knew about it, and it was on a write-up in the shop. It was on a sheet behind the glass shelves. And Lady Nellie is the 1,200-acre property there in Shasta where the majority of the AndaRas in the world were found until the others have started surfacing. And a psychic went to her and said, there are stones, there are crystals coming to the surface that you need to find. You need to look around your land and find them. And so this woman covered every square inch. She knew every square inch of her 1,200 acres and went back to the person and said, I don't see any. There's nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. So the psychic said, well, there's lots of white, powdery dirt around them. I'm guessing that was alkali or something like that. Could have been salts, but whatever is in the ground mineral wise associated, the psychic was able to say, go to where there's white powder. And she recognized immediately that there were areas where she knew she'd gone by and there was a lot of this white sort of powder in the dirt. It looks like alkali or salt. And so she started digging, and not far under the surface, she started finding these. And so she collected and harvested all she could. And the psychic said, not long after, there's going to be an event that reveals many more. Go and collect as many as you can. And so, lo and behold, not long after that, there was an earthquake. And a literal hillside shattered away, slid away, revealing tons of them, right? Like, wow. Well, the wall of AndaRan crystals revealed in the dirt. So still had to go and dig them out, wash them out. But then the psychic said, gather all you can because they will be covered again. They will get covered. And sure enough, I don't know if it was heavy rains and a mudslide. I can't remember what happened, but they did get covered again. So this is where we listen to spirit. Yes, yeah, wish we could find them, right? This was the first time I've been around so many, Tanya, in the store, the Crystal Room in Shasta. I'm certain they have an online presence where you can go and have them shipped to you. But this was the most powerful experience I had. And it started, I just always want to hold this thing. I don't want to let go. I'm going to set it down. Watching for the AndaRas, watching for the power of the AndaRas, using those that call out to you. I know that the AndaRan Dragon pendants that I have on the site, and I'm going to try and get some more, are definitely aligned to specific beings out there that are going to see this or see it on the site. That I came across those, I handpicked the stones, and then had them made into the dragon pendants, specifically because I know there's people in my sphere that they belong to, that they're going to match up with, just like this one matched with me. I think I told this story, and maybe you haven't heard it, when I got the second shipment of AndaRan Dragon, no, it must have been the first one. The first batch that I ordered, there was a purple one in it that I expected to be mine, because I love purple. Everything around me is purple and this color green. And let's see, where the AndaRan Dragons come from. The AndaRan Dragons are from their own realm, Tanya. So great question. I'll just take a side note here because that's a great question. They come from the 11th dimensional plane. So they actually are one of the... They work in a different way to other beings that are like Andromedans are 12th dimensional. The Arcturians are also 11th dimensional. The Pleiadians are 7th to 9th. So in the dragon realms, the dimensions that they work with, and I've mentioned in the book, is the Orion Dragons are 5th, the Syrian Dragons are 6th. So the Arcturians are operated 11th. These guys, the AndaRan Dragons, operate a triangulation in a continuous format, which is meant to, and I didn't realize this before, this is coming through right now, which is why I love questions, because new information always comes. So the AndaRan Dragons, I've known that they operate within the 4th, the 7th, and the 11th. They triangulate those dimensions for us. But what I'm being shown now is how they do it simultaneously, where they're operating and holding all three formats simultaneously for us, so that we start to bridge up to those higher frequencies, because the 7th is where we stepped away from our higher self. That up until the doorway, what I consider the timepiece mechanism that's in the center of the Pleiades in the 8th dimension, that gateway to triangulate down energetically all the way down to the density of 3D, we had to leave our higher self behind at that doorway. So the 7th is where we start to really touch access to it, and the 11th are the highest frequencies, where the 12th is the edge of the universe, the Andromedan edge of this universe. That the 11th, where the Arcturians are, is to take us beyond. So we want to go 5D, but we want to go beyond. So it's accessible beyond. So they're holding energies for those light workers that are ready to really move forward and jump into a much higher dimensional space availability. Because if they can hold the 4th, the 7th, and the 11th for us, we're getting pieces and strains of energy from all of those simultaneously, which is what makes them so high to work with. So working with this, holding it, you can feel that 11th dimensional frequency in there that is pulling to raise us up, raise us up, raise us up. Because the frontline workers, the frontline light workers, that are many of you that are associated with the dragons and, you know, the star seeds and all those, they're ready for those frequencies. So they're meant to bring it and anchor it. Here's my body going again. We are meant to bring it and anchor it. So Does that mean the AndaRas aren't here to work with anyone on the planet? No, they are. They're here to raise anyone up. But the AndaRan Dragons specifically, and some of these really high octave AndaRan stones, all the light workers are the ones that are being really pulled and called to the AndaRas, that they're like attracted to them. They get information about them. They come across their sphere because they're going to wake up things within them that is meant to keep pushing the envelope. We're pushing the envelope forward to hold that space for the rest of humanity in the new earth as it's being foundationally laid and the structures really built up around us. We are laying it with our vision, but if we can't vision higher than 5D, then it's going to stop there. We need to implant and seed in the higher frequencies as it's being constructed. Whoa, there's that body tingle. So as it's being constructed, if we can hold those streams of higher frequency, which is what the AndaRans and the AndaRan Dragons are helping us do, that's how we seed that into the foundational format so that it is a springboard, so that it is a 5D and higher. We've known that it is, but this is how it's actually like operating through the laws of the universe to bring those higher streams in. So love that info. Thanks. I will call them tomorrow and see what they want here in this area. Beautiful. All right. So I wanted to share that story for a couple reasons. One, to share a whole bunch about the AndaRans, the magic of places like Shasta. You don't have to go there physically, but it is powerful. We went up to Panther Meadows twice. Beautiful experience. It's where a lot of people clear their crystals. It's a freshwater spring that comes out of the mountain, so it's clear. So that's actually where I went to clear the crystals that I ended up buying. And the first time we were there, some people were doing that. And so my boys asked about it. They wanted to know. And then when they bought crystals, when I was back there in the shop, they wanted to go and learn how to cleanse their crystals in the stream. So what a great opportunity to have a learning and expansion for my boys, that they got to invite and say, Mom, can we go back there? We want to clear our crystals too. Opens that doorway. So all these pieces of the story are things that are going to connect in your life or your journey, where maybe it's about that sleep state where you hear something. It's a very clear message. Ask for the next level. Is it clarity? Is it someone actually pulling in to speak to you? And yeah, pulling. So I feel like I went off in multiple directions, but hopefully circled back around and pulled it all together. That's usually one of my gifts. I know when I'm teaching, I go boom, 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 synthesize. And I feel like that's what this AndaRa is. The AndaRas are doing with us. Synthesize it into this framework, but pull the streams from the highest places we can. So hoping you guys have a beautiful week. It's great to be back, although it was really great to be away for a week and have that experience and all the magic that happened while I was up in Shasta. And definitely fifth dimensional. You know what we got? As I said, we got smoke. Some people left. Reno ended up being worse smoke. So we stayed where we were. I don't let anything cancel my trips. And as we unfolded into that, the smoke moved out, but it also, when we went back up to Panther Meadows, I know that something shifted. There was a sprinkle of rain, absolutely clear, and it was the bluest sky I'd seen that week. It was the greenest I'd seen the vegetation that week, the trees and all the underground or understory vegetation. It was potent, and I felt like this time we're walking through it in 5D. I got to experience it in 3D. Now I'm moving into it in 5D, and wow, what a difference. So I hope you enjoyed the share and the story and the energy. I can feel it transmitting. Receive that. If you're even on the replay, those that are going to catch this video, there is a stream of energy coming through this that quite often you've felt in some of my videos coming through as my dragon connects in, and you feel Tana, and you can see it in my eyes. Being in that more merged space, I can feel that these AndaRas, this one in particular, is sending a beautiful heart healing, solar plexus and lung healing out just to open things through your body. It's actually hitting right now in the top of my legs, on the top of my lap. So however you pick it up and feel it, receive that download. Just open and say, yes, I open to receive, and let that come through, whatever that's going to be for you. So wishing you a beautiful, beautiful week. I will see you next Tuesday. Much love to you and giant dragon hugs. Bye, everybody.